Hi guys, so today we're here to see a house that we bought below market value. The reason it was below value is because it didn't have a kitchen, so it was unmortgageable, so we got it at a really good discount. We paid $115,000 for the property. What we're going to do today, I've bought Jack, one of my mentoring students.
Hey guys.
So we're going to go through today what needs doing in every room, and then I'll go through some costs with you. Make sure you stay tuned to the end so you can see what profit we're going to make on it. In the meantime, after this video, if you want to look, you can also see a previous video we've made on this, so don't forget to check that out. So let's go and take a look. Yeah, so as you can see, there's been paint thrown up here. It's totally trashed, and when you go inside, you'll see it's even worse than it looks outside. So let's go have a look. Yeah, so as you can see, it's just be careful where you're stepping. So yeah, I've already gone through this on another video, so I won't, for the sake of the video, I won't go through it again.
Yeah.
But what we'll do is we'll just start in each room, and we'll go through and work out what needs doing.
Okay, cool.
So if we go first of all into the living room. So now what I always like to do is I always take notes of everything I do because I can't remember everything.
Yeah.
So for me, I just like to record on my phone, so I'll just record on my phone and record what needs doing in every room.
Do you take pictures as well?
Yeah, I'll take pictures as well, yeah.
Afterwards?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So, okay, so we're in the living room. So, living room needs wallpaper, needs stripping off. Fireplace needs sandblasting and taking back down to stone. Skirting boards need taking off. Don't necessarily think it needs a reskin, but check with plasterer. New vent. Check wiring. Wiring looks fairly old, but we'll check that. We'll check that in a minute. That looks about it for the living room, and then just to decorate. No flooring required in here. Radiator needs painting. What else is there? Doors are okay. Doors need covering over, so they need to be painted. All okay.
Just by looking at that it may need a new rewiring, or it's something to look at. What was it that, how do you spot that?
Yeah, okay, so we can't really tell by looking at the fitting, because it could just be that could be nicotine. It's fairly yellow. It could be nicotine. It could be that the light's been on for an old light bulb has been on. That's why it's kind of like a little bit kind of yellowy. Yeah, so it could be a 100-watt old-fashioned light bulb's been on there rather than LED. So that could just be extended use of the bulb, so that it's gone yellow. So that doesn't really tell us anything. What we need to do is we need to undo it and just have a look at the cabling. Now what I would advise people is that you should get an electrician to do that. You shouldn't be doing it yourself, so get a qualified electrician to check the electrics for you. So don't go taking things off yourself. Get an electrician to unscrew and check the quality of the cabling.
So I was going to say, because I've not got much experience with refurbing a house, so checking for electrics, and this probably applies to plumbing as well, would you say that take an educated guess but always get a second opinion from a qualified professional? Yeah,
so always get an electrician to, excuse me, press play, sorry about that. So always get an electrician to check everything for you, and a gas man, so gas safe person. So yeah, anything like that, don't attempt it yourself. So yeah, definitely do that. But at the moment, I can kind of see that while it's had a new consumer unit, the cabling may be a bit old. I mean, as we go round, we might see some cabling that's exposed, and then it's answered our question. But if we can't see any cabling exposed, always get an electrician to check.
Okay, cool, great.
So fairly standard room. So as I say, we'll take the skirtings off. We'll renew all the timber. To match the existing architrave, so that's Taurus architrave over there, so we'll just match it up existing with the skirting. No need for the radiator, we'll just paint the radiator. We'll sand down and paint make a note, sand down and paint the windowsill. So yes, so that's pretty much it for this room. Any questions on this room?
No. So what did you say you were going to do with the fireplace?
Yeah, so we'll sandblast the fire. This was stone originally, so you
Okay.
can see that they painted it.
Yeah.
So this actually is a really nice fireplace.
Yeah.
So they painted that there very badly.
Yeah.
So what we'll do is we'll sandblast it down. We've got like a little mini portable sandblaster. We'll sandblast that down back to stone. We'll take the paint off. It'll all come up very nice, and then we'll leave that in.
Yeah. Awesome. Great.
Okay, so moving on through. So that's the living room. So if we go and have a look in the kitchen is next. So in here, lots of work to do. Just watch where you tread in.
Yeah. There's not much of a kitchen left, is there?
What did you say? Sorry, Jack?
There's not much of a kitchen left, is there?
No, there's not much of a kitchen left. No. So yeah, well, the lovely kitchen is there. So let's just get my notes. Okay, so kitchen. So tiles need taken off the wall. We're going to take all the tiles off, strip it back down to plaster.
Yeah.
Now, you know, we were talking about the electrics.
Mm-hmm.
So regardless of the rest of the house, the electrics in here definitely are going to need to be renewed, because I'm just not happy with these anyway.
Yeah.
And for the sake of the kitchen, we'll rewire this and we'll put it on its own ring main.
What is it that you're not happy with about the
Well,
electrics?
the wiring just looks very old from the outside. I can see that it's been nicked in the corner. See there, there's some cables showing, and all these things here. It just doesn't look like it's a very safe or professional job. You've got connector boxes that have been connected there. So this, at the minimum, I can see a socket on the wall there as well. At the very minimum, we're going to rewire the kitchen area. Okay. Yeah, so this will be a new 32 amp ring main just for the kitchen, a kitchen ring as they call it. Yeah.
Okay.
So strip out kitchen, take tiles off wall, self-level the floor. So we're going to self-level the floor because the flooring over there is not at the correct level, so we'll put some self-leveler down.
Yeah.
We're not going to self-level over the top of the timbers. Self-level the floor. Rewire kitchen according to the plan. Okay, so what I mean by that is we're going to do a plan of the kitchen, and then the wiring will be wherever, you know, we're going to put a cooker hood or we're going to put an oven. Yeah. Where we'll plan out where the appliances are going to go, and then we'll rewire it based on the plan.
Yeah. Yeah.
New ceiling, recessed lights, 6 recessed lights in the ceiling, switched by the door. Okay, so we'll put recessed lights always looking nicer. Yeah. If the ceiling had already been finished, I wouldn't bother. I'd just leave it as a pendant.
But because it's
already out, we're going to put some recessed lighting in.
Yeah.
It's going to really kind of give it a bit of a wow factor. It'll make the kitchen come alive.
Yeah.
So we'll put some recessed lighting in, and we'll get that wired up to a switch.
Yeah.
So that's essentially the kitchen area. Plaster and skim ceiling and paint. Okay. And then this area, we'll keep this as a dining area. So obviously clear dining area, skip, remove all rubbish, and check with plaster if it needs skimming. I don't think it does. Maybe just fill in a couple of holes and then painting. So yeah, so you see the couple of holes there, really they can just be filled in.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks fairly decent plastering to me. So
would you need a plasterer to do that, or is that because it's just a small bit, isn't it? Yeah. Those holes there. Would you need a plasterer to do that, or could someone just come in and? Yeah.
So no, we wouldn't need a plasterer. Although the builder that I use is he's not a plasterer, but he would be able to do that. Yeah. So a kind of a general
just
build that.
Job.
Yeah, would be able to just plaster that in.
Yeah.
Skirting board looks fairly new. It's just a bad choice of colour. No need to renew skirting board in the dining room. Just paints satin wood. So that's the kitchen area. As I say, if you've seen the previous video, you've got more of a you've already had a look at this, but this is just, as I say, just going through what we are going to do in the kitchen. So after this, now we'll move on through to the hallway, and we'll check the ground floor hall and the stairs and the landing. Okay, so in the hallway, so radiator pipes, we're going to sink these into the wall because they look terrible. Yeah. So these are no good there. So all those pipes. So sink the radiator pipes into the wall adjacent to the living room door frame. Kitchen door looks okay. Handles look good. Stair need a handle, put it on the stair cupboard, needs sanding down, needs priming, needs painting. Some holes to be filled on the staircase. Okay, yeah, Jack, so I would never leave any pipes exposed, particularly if we're doing a refurb. Okay. If it was a rental property, we would leave them exposed. As it's a refurb, we're going to sink these in, get it replastered. You know, it might cost £60 to do that, so it's worth the £60 to sink them in. Not a lot of money, no. And then that will be nicely done in there.
And why would you do that for a one that you're going to be selling on and not for a rental?
Because on a rental, I've never had in 20 years anybody say to me that they don't like the pipes. You know, if it was a rental, we'd paint them so that they look, you know.
Looks nice.
But because if it's going to be sold and you want the premium price, then it needs to be as nice looking as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So skirting boards need to be painted. Radiator, maybe need a new radiator, panel missing off the top. And re-skim a hallway, paint flaking off. Okay, so this, you could sand that down and then paint it, but it never comes out right.
Yeah.
So what we'll do is we'll just get that re-skimmed. We'll get it all re-skimmed.
Yeah.
Skip junk in the hallway. It goes without saying, but I always make a note anyway, just so that there's no confusion. So obviously that they would always skip the junk, but I just make a note, even for my own use, just so I know it's there.
Yeah.
So it looks like it has had a new consumer unit. So that certainly doesn't need changing. In fact, that's one of the later ones because it's metal.
Yeah. Yeah.
So again, we'll get the electrician to check, but as I've seen in the kitchen, that already needs doing. So yeah, but this is all new.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Create box for the consumer unit and in the hallway and the cabling all the way to the ceiling. So we box that in, but we'll just go right the way to the ceiling because then it hides all the cables and everything. Yeah. We don't bother trying to sink those in. That if it was going to, if it's going to be rewired, we may sink them in. But at the moment, if we haven't got to rewire it, we'll just box it all in.
Yeah. Okay.
Window looks good. Just needs UPVC cleaner on the window in the hallway.
You mentioned that you may need to replace the radiator, but then in the lounge you said just paint it. How do you know whether you should change the radiator?
Okay, so the only reason I mentioned about replacing it is because we're missing off the grill off the top.
Yeah. Okay.
So if we can't get a grill to match, then we can get a radiator for £40 or £50. Okay. We'll just change the radiator. Okay. Otherwise, if the grill was all there and it looked all okay, we'd just paint it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the hallway, the ground floor hallway. So we'll just quickly talk about the stairs. So these stairs looks like somebody's already renewed the stairs. So this looks all fairly new. There's evidence of sawdust, shavings. So this has already been done.
Yeah.
So here we're just going to paint it. So staircase, just prime and paint in a white satin wood. Okay, so that's the downstairs, so let's go and have a look upstairs. Okay, so moving up into the landing area, the plastering is really poor here. So all of this, cracks, holes, this all needs re-skimming. So we're going to re-skim the whole of this. So I'll just make a note of that. So upstairs landing needs completely re-skimming. A loft hatch needs new, the hatch itself needs replacing and then needs sanding, priming and painting. Okay, so everything else is fairly standard. There's nothing else. It's all got new architrave, new skirtings. Mm-hmm. So we'll just replaster this, re-skim it, and we'll do the loft hatch, and that's it. So if we move on into the small bedroom. So this is the smallest bedroom. This has been a real poor attempt at some DIY plastering. So yeah.
Oh, no, that feels horrible.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so actually a telltale sign the electrics is terrible.
Yeah.
Okay, so there we can see there that the cables are just, yeah. So I'm going to get this rewired now. Now I've seen that. So the cables are pretty bad. So you can see it's got the old red and black wiring, which is 20 years old now. Plus,
okay.
Yeah, so the cabling is at least 20 years old. It doesn't look particularly good. So we'll get it rewired.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just make some notes. So upstairs, small bedroom, reskim, new skirting board and new, actually that's it, new skirting board, reskim and the box with, check with Mick whether we need to put a new box above the stairs or whether we can just sand down and prime and paint. So over there, it may be that we can sand it down and prime it and paint it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, depends how bad the plaster is.
Yeah.
Or it may be that we just take it out and just kind of rebox it in.
Okay.
Radiator, so again, so we're just going to change that, it's not even worth, it's all rusty. The radiator's all rusty. The controls are horrible. So yeah, we're just going to change that. So upstairs, small bedroom, replace the radiator, TRV valves. Upstairs, small bedroom, also will need some browning. So browning is a technical term for what goes underneath the plaster. So I know you can't plaster straight on top of the brick, so I just left a note for the plasterer that he's going to need some browning. So that's just, well, you put that in first and then he skims over the top. It just saves him coming here and then finding out he needs it and then he didn't have it, so it just all helps.
Yeah.
So again, yeah, that's it. It's already been cleared out for us. It's all standard. So that's small room. Let's go into the larger bedroom now. So the large bedroom is here. So nice large bedroom here with a bit of old-fashioned 70s Artexing on the ceiling.
Yeah.
So what we'll do here is we'll just re-skim it. There's nothing worth salvaging in here. The paint is terrible. The wall finish is terrible.
Yeah.
They've tried to, well, I don't know what they've done, but they've stripped the wallpaper off, which is good, but there's cracks.
Yeah.
It's bumpy. So here we'll just re-skim it all, re-skim the ceiling as well, so we get rid of the Artex. The electrics, that just confirms it again, and it just all needs rewiring. It's just terrible. So I'll just make some notes on that one. So upstairs, large bedroom, re-skim entire room, new electrics, new radiator, new skirting board, and remove flooring. Okay, so flooring goes without saying anyway, but we'll just make notes of it. Radiator, we'll just replace that, and yeah, and that's it really. It looks, you know, it's just a square room that needs skimming, it just needs plastering.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
is it all good so far? Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay.
But it doesn't look good.
Well, yeah, it's all like yeah. Okay, I think that's it. So moving on through to the small bedroom. Okay, so this is the medium-sized bedroom, but this is probably the worst one out of all the bedrooms. Yeah. Worst as in, it's got, if you look out by the window, you can see that it's gone down to the lintel, so there's no plaster there.
Yeah.
There's big, huge gaps around the window, so the skirting board, there's huge gaps, so, and also it's a strange place to have a boiler, but we will leave the boiler in there. Okay, so upstairs, rear bedroom, new skirting boards. The window reveals they'll need something doing with them, maybe some browning or some filling of some description, but get Mick to take a look at that. Lintel is exposed. New window sill, clean the windows, UPVC cleaner. New radiator, new TRV valves. Re-skim the room, repaint. Boiler to remain in the corner, get the boiler checked and box in the boiler. Okay, so we'll just get the boiler serviced, we'll box all that in, make it all look nice, re-skim the room, electrics are going to be changed anyway, and then paint it. So again, some of the work's already been done for us because they've stripped the wall. It's actually quite a hard job as well because you can't plaster with any wallpaper left on. If you plaster over a wallpaper, it'll then bubble.
Okay.
So even the smallest amount of the smallest amount of wallpaper, even the size of your thumb,
will cause the plaster
to bubble afterwards.
Okay. I've got a question about the crack just along the top there. I've been around some viewings with a few other people who are looking at buying doing up houses, and they get really, really jumpy. I know a lot of people in the industry get quite jumpy about cracks and gaps in walls. How do you tell whether it's detrimental or not?
Okay, so it's a really good question. So with cracks in walls and ceilings, if you're just starting out in your property career, then it's probably best to get a structural engineer. So you'd get a structural engineer to come and have a look, and then they would advise you. But you could be paying £200 or £300 for a structural engineer's report.
Right.
But over the years, we've kind of got used to what the structural engineer says, and we've learned what is good and bad. So there's really 3 types of cracks you're going to get. You're going to get what we call a superficial crack.
Okay.
So that's just like a hairline crack. You get them in new builds. It's where the room has dried out and the plaster's shrunk.
Okay.
So you get superficial cracks. Then you're going to get movement cracks where something's moved and it could still be moving. And then you also get settlement cracks. So there could be, it's settled but it's not moving. And you'll get a crack. So my advice really would be to, in the early days, get a structural engineer, read the report, go around with him, have a look at it, see what he says, ask questions, and then over the years you'll then get used to what is good and bad. These are, I'm not concerned about these. If we look at the window, there's not really any movement on the window, there's no cracks. That there is probably where it's been replastered. And I'm not concerned about the cracks on the ceiling either. That's just it's probably old lath and plaster in here. So it's just movement, but I'm not concerned that the building's moving. It's also a semi-detached, so that there is, it's the neighbour. So that there is going to be, if there's anything going to move, it would normally be on the exterior walls, not the joining walls. So those particular cracks that you mentioned there, I'm not concerned about.
Okay. So it would cost. It would probably cost you, say, a couple £100 to go.
£200 or £300.
So it's worth it if it's going to save you a house. If it's
definitely. I would say if you're refurbing and you're going to be spending thousands on the refurb, and you're going to be reselling it, the last thing you want to do is try and sell the property, and then the surveyor picks up that there's some cracks. Because if the surveyor picks that up, it could put the sale on hold. It might even scare the buyers off. So always get the structural engineer to check it. But as I say, once you've done, once you've come across 4, 5 or 6 structural issues, you'll get used to what they are.
Definitely.
Okay, so the last room to look at is the bathroom. However, we can't actually get in there because they filled it with junk, and I haven't moved anything out yet, and no one has. So I'm just going to kind of pop my head around the corner, just explain to Jack what we're looking out for in the bathroom, and then we'll try and get something on the camera for you to have a look at, but it's going to be difficult for us all to go to the bathroom. You'll see it anyway. Okay, so as you can see, it's like a bit of an obstacle course. So.
Oh yes, I see what you mean about not being able to get in.
I'm not sure why they put it all in here. So we'll get some footage for you in a minute so you can have a look in the bathroom, but essentially it all looks okay in here. The walls look sound. Walls look really good. Probably the best walls in the house actually. So walls look good. Tiling looks good, although it's not my colour, so we're going to take it off. But generally the bathroom doesn't look too bad. So what we'd do here is I'll just record. So bathroom, replace bathroom suite, take walls off the, take the walls off. Take the tiles off the wall and replace the tiles. New bathroom suite, so toilet, bath, sink, and new shower. Radiator, new radiator. Skirting looks good, architrave looks good, and replaster. Sorry, not replaster. The skimming it doesn't need skimming, just needs painting. Okay, so Jack. So it looks good. Plus looks good.
Yeah.
Bedroom. sorry. So, looks good. We're just going to replace the bathroom suite.
Yeah.
Replace the tiles. And the reason I haven't said new flooring on any of these is because we'll just replace flooring anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll come out and then the camera can go and have a look in.
Yeah, great.
Okay, so that's essentially it. So we've been around every room. I've made my digital notes. So when I get back to the office, I'll then play every room back. I'll make notes. I'll also give it to my tradesmen so that they all know what they're doing. So all that leaves now is for us to go outside so I can get the grounds worker to just do the outside bit. So let's go and take a look outside. So that's the inside done. So obviously we're just going to get a gardener just to do this. I don't need to record that, just kind of, they know that, but we need to have a look at the garden, but
okay.
Let me know what you think, have a look.
Okay. Did they put all the sofas and stuff in the back, or is that you?
No, we haven't done anything yet, so this is as we bought it. I'm not sure whether it was the tenants or whether it's fly tippers.
Oh.
Just be careful where you tread.
Yeah.
So, yeah, completely overgrown, fences down.
Yeah.
So let's just make some notes for here. So what we would do here is we wouldn't really spend much money on the outside.
Okay.
So replace the fence panels, replace the gate, skip all the rubbish, weed killer, and topsoil and reseed, paint fences. So here all we're going to do really is we're going to weed killer everything.
Yeah.
We're going to put everything in the skip. We're going to replace the fence panels, replace the gate.
Yeah.
The windows and things outside don't need anything doing with. They're all okay. They'll just need cleaning. So UPVC cleaner on external windows. And then the back garden, if we carry on round to the back garden.
This is just the side. Oh my word. Have you seen this before?
Mate, I've seen it once and it was absolutely awful.
Oh, I've sort of something. Okay, yeah. This needs a bit. You may need a skip to clear this stuff out. Oh. And why did they do this, do you know? They literally just decided so they don't want any of their furniture inside.
Yeah, so I'm not sure why or I don't know. I mean,
perfume there, half a bottle.
Yeah, and there's like bits of bits of food, and it's just So we'll just skip the lot.
Yeah.
And then just I mean, it may uncover as we skip it and we start clearing out. It may uncover more problems. Sometimes you get that.
Yeah.
But until we've started skipping it, we don't know.
So a lot of people ask me about knotweed, Japanese knotweed, and what to look out for. How would you explain what to look out for? Like, how would you know that there's not Japanese knotweed in here?
Yeah, sure. So I know what Japanese knotweed looks like.
Yeah.
So I know that this isn't Japanese knotweed.
Yeah.
Japanese knotweed would be a lot taller at this time of the year. So Japanese knotweed in one season will grow 3 to 6 feet.
Wow.
In one season. So at the moment it would be up to about here.
Yeah, this has been left a long time. So
yeah,
it would be a lot.
It'd be a lot higher.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is not Japanese knotweed. Japanese knotweed also typically has a hollow core. So it's not a woody plant.
Okay.
It's got a hollow core. Looks a little bit like bamboo.
Okay.
If you snap it, it's hollow, and also the leaves have got kind of red on them.
That red vein.
Yeah, red vein colours. Yeah,
Okay.
but this is not Japanese knotweed. And you do come across it, but not very often.
Okay.
Yeah, we certainly don't get put off by Japanese knotweed.
No.
No. If anything, it allows us to negotiate a lower price.
Bargaining.
So
really? Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Okay, guys, so that's it. So what we've been through is looking at every room, what we need to do on the house. I can tell you it's going to cost about £20,000 to refurbish this house. How do I know that? Well, because I've been doing it for 20 years, and so after a few flips and refurbs, you just get used to the costings. I will do another video on that so that you can kind of get an idea of how much things cost. So about £20,000, we're going to sell it for £175,000. So that means we've made about £40,000 pre-tax profit, less your stamp duty and less your costs. So all that remains for me to say is don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. If you've got any questions or comments, put them below. And also don't forget to look at that video that we spoke about earlier where we went through this when we first bought it, so you can have a proper look around this. So the link will be next to this video. So until next time, thanks guys.